Welcome to the era of 1920.
It all started with the flappers. Flappers were women who chopped off their hair and rose their hemlines up to their knees. It was a sign of freedom. Some popular hairstyles were the finger wave, the bob, the Dutch boy, and the shingle. This was a huge deal to everyone. Barbershops were fiercely competing with these booming new hairstyles.
Fashion has always been influenced by the mode of transportation until the newfound freedom of women. In the 1920s, women became influenced by art and increased sense of freedom. Art also influenced the brightly used colors in the 1920s fashion. Women started to coordinate and accessorize outfits by wearing hats, shoes, stockings, handbags, dresses, and jewelry. It all came together to create a new elegant style.
The men of the 1920s would always slick their hair back with grease, and the sides of their hair were shorter while the top was longer. Men were also into mustaches. Mustaches were a manly look back then and made them feel older, which made them feel confident. The men treasured their mustaches, so they would comb them, brush them, and even dyed them. Men's normal clothing in the 1920s was wearing a suit. They wore longer jackets for special occasions and wore shorter jackets during the day. Hats were also a big part of clothing for men. Just like the women, men added a hat to accessorize, which created a perfect style in the 1920s.
Hairstyle for women have changed so much over the years. In 1920, women chopped off all their hair, but now long hair is the new style. Women want their hair to be super long and curly. Women and girls tend to tease their hair also, which makes their hair poofy with volume. Some women also tend to wear extensions if they have short hair. Hair has changed so much within 92 years and will continue to change with years to come.
Just like hair, fashion has changed in so many ways. Us women are now into tight dresses and skirts, scarves, high heels, Nike, and Toms. Back then, being white meant you were rich, but now being tan is the new thing.
Back in the 1920s, men slicked their hair back with grease, but now they spike up their hair with gel. Nowadays, guys either have long hair known as hockey hair or guys have a buzz cut. Back in the 1920s, men wore suits. Nowadays, they wear skinny jeans, flannels, snapbacks, and Jordans.